Destination Newry is at Narrow Water today for the latest update on the Narrow Water Bridge. Environment Minister Alex Attwood. Mr Attwood, tell us what this visit is about today.
Well, what I try to do in respect of all the decisions that I make, known as Article 31, decisions of economic significance, is go and have a look at the site. So whilst I'm very familiar with this part of Ireland, it's better to actually come, walk the ground, see the area in advance of any papers coming to me about this planning application.
So what are the timescales for that planning application?
Well, I've set very challenging timescales for all the Article 31 applications, all these applications of economic significance. And we've been rolling those out over the last number of weeks. And I'm hoping that in the next number of weeks, the Planning Service may bring papers to me in respect of the Narrow Water Bridge proposal. And when I get those papers, I'll consider them and then I'll make my decision.
And obviously this one has a cross-border aspect to it, so on board Planala is involved as well, is that right?
Yes, it's transboundary in European terms, and therefore it involves the planning authorities in the north of Ireland and in the rest of Ireland. And we're hoping that whatever the planning decision might be, we'll make decisions around the same time. These decisions have to be assessed against planning and environmental standards, and clearly there are obvious planning and environmental standards in respect of this particular application crossing the waters behind me. But there's also very much economic opportunities for these sort of initiatives to grow tourism on the island of Ireland, grow tourism in Louth and Down, and grow jobs as a consequence.
So just in terms of the tourism aspect of it, the suggestion seems to be that this will create one large tourist area right across Carlingford Lough. Is that the idea behind it?
Well, there's a lot of ideas behind this. The commercial, local people having easier access across these waters, and yes, trying to grow tourism both on this side of the border and on the far side of the border. These areas, the Cooley Peninsula, South Armagh, South Down, the Mournes, these are areas of enormous natural and built heritage. And the more we develop that built and natural heritage, the more jobs and opportunities will arise, and creating better transport mechanisms through a bridge in Narrow Water, it is argued to me, will be a big part of that big future.
And you mentioned the impact on local people there. What do you think the benefits might be for ordinary local people?
Well, clearly for people who want to cross the border, do so on a regular basis, being able to cross this point would bring benefit. If the proposal measures up to planning and environmental standards, it will clearly create better cross-border trade opportunities if the application measures up to planning and environmental standards. And clearly it will bring tourist opportunities in one of the most scenic, wonderful, beautiful and further opportunities to develop this area in the future for tourist spend and tourist numbers.
Thank you very much. So we're now joined by Margaret Ritchie, the MP for South Down. So Margaret, can you tell us a little bit about the background to this particular proposal?
This proposal goes back many, many years, in fact to the mid-70s, when local people from Warrenpoint and also from Carlingford and Cooley joined together with the expressed aim of making connections, of shortening the distance between Omeath and Warrenpoint and Omeath. And why did they do that? For economic reasons, for job creation potential, and also for making ordinary human connections. As the Minister has said, and I encourage the Minister to come today and look at this particular site, there is enormous tourism potential in this part of South Down, with Warrenpoint, with the Mourne Mountains, considerable heritage with the Mournes itself, but also many people already come to visit. I want to see many more, increasing the economic potential of the area, and along with other projects in South Down, this will be the catalyst of all projects for bringing people, for increasing revenue, for enhancing the potential and enhancing the wealth and income of the people of Warrenpoint and the wider South Down constituency. So I am delighted, and I would ask the Minister in his rigorous assessment of this application to give due considerations to all the environmental, all the economic factors, and I would hope that he would be able to see fit to provide planning approval within probably the next month or so, and I would hope the same would be forthcoming from On Board Planola, because this is an important symbolic north-south project and probably one of the first on this island that stems back nearly 40 years. So I am particularly pleased about this visit today.
Thank you.
I'm joined now by Katrina Ruan, MLA, and by Chris Hazard, MLA. So Katrina, coming to you first, what do you think about this bridge project?
This is a very important infrastructure project between Louth and Down. This is about building the tourism infrastructure from Newgrange to the Mournes. It's a way of developing the tourism of South Down and making sure that we build our tourism economy. Sinn Féin is working along with all other political parties and the local chambers of commerce to ensure we get this bridge. We're working in Leinster House, we're working in Stormont, we're working in the European Parliament, and we're working in the councils. There's been a link from Omeath to Warrenpoint for many, many, many years, and we need to develop that link. So we're calling on the Interreg to fund this bridge, and we're calling on everyone to play their role to ensure that that happens.
And Chris, coming to you next, what do you think this bridge will do for the local economy and for local people?
Oh, this bridge will be instrumental in driving forward a tourism project. We already see by the figures, too many people come to Carlingford without the ability to come to Rostrevor on the same day. Too many people come to Kilbrony Park in Rostrevor without the ability of going rambling in the Cooley Mountains in Carlingford on the same day or the same weekend. This is about joining up communities, joining up facilities, and bringing our two peoples together in a way that isn't done anywhere else. And this would be a great feature for tourism in the South Down area.
And in terms of the timescales, do you think that we will have this bridge anytime soon?
Well, the decision has been made on planning, and we had hoped there would be an announcement today, because I know it's sitting on the Minister's desk at the moment, the Minister of Environment. So that planning has to be approved, and we hope that the Minister does approve that. Then the On Board Planola had a hearing in the south of Ireland, and that is imminent as well. Interreg, this is part of the Interreg funding, and we're hopeful that Interreg will approve this bridge in the very, very near future. And given that this is coming from EU money, it must be built, begin by 2015. So this is imminent. The key thing now is the planning on both sides of the border and the funding from Interreg, and we're very hopeful that both those can happen.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.